Are you envisioning a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Italy? Italy has many fantastic locations that enthrall the heart and soul, from the picturesque canals of Venice to the historic ruins of Rome. Ever questioned which Italian regions and cities should be at the top of your vacation itinerary? Come along as we explore the top destinations in Italy that highlight the nation's breathtaking scenery, fascinating history, and lively culture. Are you prepared to discover Italy's wonders? Let's get started on creating the ideal itinerary for your trip to Italy. Home to some of the world's best historical sites, cuisine, and artwork, Italy elates, inspires, and moves its tourists like few other nations. It also has a diverse range of landscapes that frequently need traveling across continents to fully appreciate. It is difficult to choose just a few places to visit in this amazing country because of its abundance of art and architecture in the cities, as well as its astounding diversity of natural landscapes, which include calm lakes, dramatic coastlines, beautiful mountains, and those famous rolling hills. So how do you make your travel decisions? Whether you're searching for history, art, beaches, trekking, or even food on your Italian odyssey, it all depends on what you want to find. Rome. Rome was once the capital of the world, having been founded by a boy who was supposedly suckled by a wolf. It grew into a powerful empire, became the birthplace of the Catholic religion, and is today home to more than 2 millennia's worth of art and architecture. If you're visiting Italy for the first time, Rome ought to be the main attraction of your vacation, but there is just too much to see there, from the Pantheon and the Colosseum to Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel and many Caravaggio pieces. So throw a coin into the Trevi Fountain and make a commitment to come again, just like innumerable others have done before you. There is a ton to see here. And since there isn't much public transportation in the city center, the hotel you choose may make all the difference. Prior to making your reservation, make a list of the places you want to see the most. For example, don't stay close to the Colosseum if you want to see the Vatican at opening time. Tuscany. Florence is a visual feast, from the stunning dome of its cathedral to Botticelli's Venus, who appears slightly emerging from the water in the Uffizi Gallery. Naturally, this was the center of the Renaissance, and the Accademia, the Bargello, the Uffizi, Michelangelo, and Raphael are just a few of the famous names you'll find there. Further afield in Tuscany, the most romanticized region of Italy, lies the gently rolling landscape dotted with olive orchards, serpentine cypress trees, and highly sought-after local artifacts. Before touring the vineyards of Chianti, the most famous wine area in Italy, and the undulating, cypress-studded hills of the Val d'Orcia, bask in the Gothic grandeur of Siena and the Manhattan-esque skyline of medieval San Gimignano. Because Tuscany has a superb train network, if you're sticking to large towns and cities, you're better off without a car. However, you will undoubtedly require a car if you wish to travel about the countryside. The Dolomites. There are many larger, more dramatic, more geologically unstable mountains in the world, but few have the allure of the pink-hued granite Dolomites. Perhaps it's the vivid skirts of spring wildflowers, the sharp, angular peaks, or the wealth of Latin stories. However, it might just be the allure of wealth, flair, and glamour of Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy's most famous ski resort, or the linguistic curiosity of Stepata, a picture-perfect mountain community. For whatever reason, this small area in northern Italy is incredibly appealing. Coast of Amalfi. The most famous stretch of coastline in Italy is a riveting strip where coastal mountains drop into the Azure Sea, creating a breathtaking vertical landscape of sun-bleached villages, sheer cliffs, and sheer crags. Hiking trails at mountaintops offer God-worthy Tyrrhenian panoramas between the sea and the sky. Though some could contend that the Cinque Terre in Liguria or the Costa Viola in Calabria are the peninsula's most stunning coastlines, the Amalfi Coast has captivated and influenced many greats, including Tennessee Williams, D.H. Lawrence, Elizabeth Taylor, Virginia Woolf, and Jackie Kennedy. Of course, one of the greatest locations in Italy for couples is also due to its incredibly romantic appearance. While traveling along the Amalfi Coast is undoubtedly one of the most well-known road journeys in the world, it frequently seems like everyone else is doing the same route as you. There is essentially no parking and traffic can be nose to tail. Instead, use public transportation or the ferry to get between towns. Pompeii, the destroyed city. People stroll among the old city's ruins, which were devastated by Mount Vesuvius. The image's background features the volcano. Pompeii. The time-warped remains of Pompeii thrust you back 2,000 years, frozen in its last throes. Explore avenues made for chariots, ornately frescoed mansions and bathhouses, food markets and shops, theaters, and even a former brothel. Then, consider Pliny the Younger's horrifying description of the town's last hours as you gaze up at the menacing Mount Vesuvius in the eerie silence. Darkness came on again ashes, thick and heavy. We kept getting up to shake these off, since the weight would have otherwise buried and crushed us. Herculaneum, the other major city devastated by the eruption, is definitely worth a visit if you have the time. Though much smaller than Pompeii, its structures are in excellent condition. And the site is all the more striking because Ercolano, its contemporary descendant, surrounds it. It is easily accessible by train via the Circumvesuviana, just like Pompeii. Magna Emilia. Not surprisingly, Bologna, the capital of Emilia-Romagna, is nicknamed La Grasse and a province known for its culinary prowess. This region is the birthplace of several iconic Italian dishes, such as tagliatelle al raga, tortellini, and mortadella. Shop for world-famous aged balsamic vinegar in Modena's deli-packed quadrilateral district, which has been home to food stalls since the Middle Ages. After shopping, take the train to Modena. Make time to see Parma, the birthplace of prosciutto di Parma and Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Toast with a glass or three of Emilia-Romagna's famed Lambrusco, wherever you point your fork. It's a far cry from the horribly sweet wine that was once exported. On the shores of Lake Como is the town of Varenna. The community is surrounded by a thick, verdant forest and features a large number of colorful structures along the lake. The world's wealthy and well-known frequent the villages and towns around Lake Como, Justin Folk's lonely planet. Lake Como. For average people, it must be satisfactory if it suits the Obamas and the Clooneys, who are frequent travelers. The most beautiful lake in Lombardy is brilliant Lago di Como, which is tucked away beneath the Rhaetian Alps. Movie moguls, fashion royalty, and actual royalty reside in its opulent Liberty-style villas. And in April and May, the gardens at Villas Melzi Daryl, Carlotta, and Balbianello make for a picture-perfect backdrop filled with rhododendron, azalea, and camellias. Como itself is a hive of fascinating architecture, from the Gothic cathedral to Palazzo Turrine, which was constructed by the fascists as their party headquarters. The latter is a stark reminder of the horrors carried out by the dictatorship and a great example of Italian 1930s. Como is similar to the Amalfi Coast in that parking is a major issue and the roads are congested. Use public transportation instead of your car. There is a train line along the lake's eastern border, as well as a great network of buses and ferries. Sardinia. The seas of Sardinia have a variety of blue, green, and, in the darkest shadows, purple hues that are beyond description in English. Much of the island, which is the second largest in the Med after Sicily, is still a wild, undeveloped playground, even if models, ministers, and perpetually tan celebrities whine, eat, and sail along the glossy Costa Smeralda. Discover its rough coastline, which includes the wind-sculpted cliff face of the Golfo di Orosei, the tumble-down stones of Santa Teresa di Gallura, and the windswept splendor of the Costa Verde's dune-backed beaches. However, if you travel inland as well, you'll discover some of the best prehistoric ruins in Europe, including the enigmatic Neravi megalithic structures, colossal tombs referred to as giants' tombs, and the mountain towns of Barbagia, where people continue to follow customs that date back hundreds of years. Naples. Naples is a city unlike any other. It has Pompeii, pizza, and an abundance of style. This location allows visitors to travel down old Greek and Roman highways below, while on the street surface, there are lavish churches, Baroque palaces, and Maradona everywhere. The past is layered here like lasagna, with one strip of history on top of the other. Life in the city has a sense of urgency because of the shadow of the volcano, Vesuvius, which towers above the time capsules of Pompeii and Herculaneum outside. With everything together, it's a place unlike any other. From the water, Naples gets less chaotic. You may take a boat from the city to Sorrento, Positano, and the Amalfi Coast, in addition to taking the ferry to islands like Ischia and Procida. Don't miss out on more travel inspiration and tips. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos.